Hi, and welcome to my 8 keys to optimum performance training. Thank you for joining me. Today, we're going to be embark on a way of you to fast track your change from how a decision is made and the effects that it creates from the day zero to now, so we can transform the whole paradigm in which you live. See, a lot of the times we want to change. So we have a thought and we have this great idea. And then what happens with that idea? It just fizzles out. We don't take action. And that's because change is not just about changing a thought or thinking that something is a good idea. We need to embody that whole decision and transform the old paradigm that we're living in and make that new decision to transform into a brand new paradigm. And that's what we're here to teach. Okay, so if you can bear with me for the next 20 or so minutes, I'm going to be sharing the 8 keys and how they can impact you in such a way that it can change your life in the way that you want it to change. And this is what's very, very important here, is that right now, I ask you to delve deep down inside and go to that place that you know there's something inside that you know you want to create. You want to, you may have thought it was impossible. You may have thought that, no, this is not you, or all sorts of things and all sorts of reasons could have come up on why you shouldn't be doing this, why you shouldn't be taking this new direction. I want you to delve deep down inside because this has to be meaningful to you. Change doesn't occur just because we think it's a good idea. Change occurs because there's something burning inside us. There's something burning inside you right now. And what we want to do is we want to bring that up. We want to nurture it. And we want to create a whole new paradigm so you can live the life that you truly, truly want. And this is what's happened to me a few times. The first time this has happened to me was when I was 12 years old. And the second time it happened to me when I was about 30 years old. Yes, 30 years old it happened to me. So these are the things I want to share with you in regards to what I did. And then the people that I've modeled, what they did. And I created the 8 keys to optimal mental performance, because what we want to do is create change and not think that it's just a good idea. Okay, well, let's move on. Let's start the training. Okay, so again, I want to welcome you to the 8 keys of optimal mental performance. Okay, and so what's key number one? So I've told you about the differences between making a thought and creating the change. And that change, the number one thing that we need to do is make an agreement with our unconscious self. You see, most of the times we're just reacting. So we have a great thought, and then what happens is that our old paradigm kicks in and we don't see that new thought. So what happens? We divert back to the old paradigm. So what we're in fact doing is that we're living a life in effect of the cause of our old paradigm. So for us to make a change, the very, very first thing that we need to do is make a decision that this old paradigm was caused by us. We created this, even though consciously we didn't know how. And I'm going to be going and delving into this and how this has all happened. So you can actually make significant changes. So the first thing we need to do is make an unconscious agreement with ourselves or with yourself that, yes, I am in charge of creating my new paradigm. So how do we become in charge? What's that first thing that we need to do? Well, let's have a look at the whole understanding of empowerment. And I'm quite sure you've been there when you have changed your life because you've made a decision to do something new, and immediately you took action upon it, and nothing, there was no excuses, there was no reasons, nobody could put you down, nobody could get inside your head, because you made that decision of making the change. What you did there is you took charge. And this is what we need to do. We need to embody this whole new decision that I am in charge. This is the first thing that we need to do to be able to create a whole new paradigm. Because this is the whole thing. It's really understanding the cause and effect equation. The cause and effect equation says each effect has come from a cause. So therefore, every cause has an effect, and every effect has a cause. And the thing is, when we make that decision that we are the cause, not we are the effect of the cause, this is when we make the change. And this is where it becomes vitally crucial that you make this decision, and it's your decision. I am at cause of creating the change. And I'm going to be giving you tools to empower yourself on how to create these changes and make them yours. So what happens? What's the difference between living a life in effect and living a life at cause? So living a life in effect, all you're going to be doing is looking for reasons why you can't make a change. So as I was saying before, you have a good thought, you have a good idea, and you're thinking that you made a decision, but you haven't yet because you haven't embodied it. So you're having this good thought, and then what happens? Someone could whisper in your ear and say how ridiculous it is. You could be seeing your old paradigm, and you don't see the opportunities for this new idea for yourself. So what happens? We revert back. So we're looking for reasons why. And this is what happens. When you don't embody the cause, that you are at cause, what you end up with is justifications of your old paradigm being stronger than the new. And you've got to understand, this old paradigm has now got a neuropsychological root system inside you. Okay, you've nurtured this for a very, very long time, and you're starting to see that it's not serving you a purpose anymore. So therefore, we can't keep justifying that the old paradigm is true for you anymore. So you need to start looking at being in cause. So when you're looking at cause, you're only looking for results. You make this decision, you embody this decision, and what happens when you embody this decision is that you're only looking for results. You go, okay, so my old paradigm saw it this way, my new paradigm is seeing it with new opportunities. And that's what we need to embody every single day, every single moment is going to be showing you that your new paradigm exists. But you know what? Every single moment is going to be showing you that the old paradigm exists, because they both exist. The question is, which one do you want the most? And the only way you're going to be making the change is taking charge of the old paradigm, so you can make the changes every time you see these limiting beliefs and negative emotions that come up for you, okay? Because it's only a limiting belief now, because it's limiting belief based on your new paradigm that you want to live. And the only way you can make those changes is to, number one, make an agreement with yourself that, yes, I am in charge. And this gets you to the cause side of the equation, which now creates empowerment in your life. Moving on. Now, I'm going to ask you, before I do move on, which side of this equation have you decided to be in right now? Do you still want to go around looking for reasons why you shouldn't change? Or do you want to go around showing yourself the results, the opportunities that this new paradigm, this new decision that you're going to making for yourself exists, so you can take action? Which one? Which side of the equation are you going to be on right now? That's right, the cause side of the equation, where results happen. You stay in effect, you're going to be looking at reasons. You go to cause, all you're going to be looking for are results. Okay, are you still with me? Let's move on. Let's have a look at how we've shaped our model of the world, how we've created this old paradigm. Because once you understand how we've created the old paradigm, now you can replicate it, be at cause, be conscious about this, so you can change into this new paradigm. Okay, so here's what shapes our model of the world. Okay, so the number one thing is we have some kind of interaction, and that interaction is either with a person. It could be a situation where there's many people, or any situation like an event, okay? Or interacting with a thing. When I say a thing, it could be a car, a bike, an object, anything, okay? So once we interact with a person, a situation, or a thing, what we end up doing is we react and we have certain thoughts about it, okay? We react, then we have certain thoughts about it. Once that happens, we have a certain state that we're in, okay? Someone says something, we don't like it, we react from it, and we have some kind of thought, we have this feeling that we don't like, and that's what happens. It's from that interaction. Once we react from it, instead of proact, which we'll show in a minute, we end up with this state of being. And what happens is that now our perception, how we view the world, starts to adapt based on how you felt from that interaction. So now it doesn't become a logical process, it becomes an emotional process. What we've done there is we've made a decision from this interaction right here, which I like to call the gap of opportunity, okay? Right here, there's a gap between your interaction and how you react. And right here, we've sort of seen, we've made a decision that something has happened. This person has done this to me, something like that, some kind of limiting belief. So what I look at here is the gap of opportunity, is that what we could do here is we could actually give away our personal power to that person, to that situation, or to that thing. When the person says something bad or has done something bad, they could have done something bad emotionally or physically, or have done something to abuse your trust or abuse you physically, or whatever. I met a lot of people that have gone through that. I'm quite sure we all have gone through stages of that. Okay, now when things like that happen, we can make some, but we're in a really peak state of emotion, and we can make some very disempowering beliefs about ourselves. Our self-worth can go down. Our self-esteem can get squashed. Now, I've seen so many kids get bullied and then not find their resolve, and they end up with adult trauma as well. So when they become adults, they still haven't dealt with that trauma of being bullied. So they're still getting bullied in their workplace. Okay, so these things end up as effects. So right here in this gap, what's happening here, and what's happening right here is that the opportunity of taking back your power, not letting that person, not letting that thing, and not letting that situation get the better of you. So you start looking at something like, I'm going to be doing a workshop that's going to help me respond better to the next time something like this happens. I remember as a kid, I'm quite sure we've all been there, I really wanted that bike, that bike, and I really, really wanted it. And I got all emotional about it because my parents couldn't afford it, and it absolutely distorted me at the time. I felt horrible that I couldn't get it. And the thing is, I had to find my resolve, because the bike, it was getting to me. It was emotionally getting to me, and I had to find my resolve. I'm better than that. Maybe later I can actually start working hard and earn this bike, and then I can actually earn way more than what this bike is. And I started learning that I was more valuable than material things. And that was an opportunity. Okay, right now we have the opportunity of anything that has happened in the past. We can actually go back to this gap. We can go back here, okay, and take the opportunity to take our personal power back. And we'll go through that a little bit later. So right here, this is what shapes us. So it's like right in these moments, when we make those decisions, we've planted a certain seed. And that seed, we keep nurturing. And how do we nurture it? We nurture it through our perception, because in our perception, what we start doing is we start justifying that this is real. So if something's happened, like for example, the bike, and now I feel my self-worth is down. Now I put my self-worth lower than any bike. Imagine how that could shape. And it shaped a lot of people. That their self-worth goes down, their self-esteem goes down. And then later, and we start justifying it when we, oh, look, see, that person's got a bike that I don't, and their self-worth is better than is greater than mine. We start putting these in our neuropsychological root system. We start putting these catalysts, these other nurturing parts of keeping that paradigm strong, keeping that paradigm going. And those justifications, okay, we can utilize for our new paradigms. Okay, so our perception, all we are seeing is a mirror of decisions that we've made from day zero to now. And a lot of those decisions we made as kids, and we keep living in effect of those decisions. How many things have we learned from our parents that later on you found that wasn't so true? Okay. One of the things that I've always taught is if I have more than 2 eggs a day, I'm going to die. Okay. Because if you have more than 2, there's something in the eggs. And so, wow, I never had more than 2 eggs. Then from the age 12 onwards, I started getting involved in bodybuilding. And I was reading bodybuilding magazines where people were having 24 eggs a day, okay, and didn't die from them. So, so there's a lot of, I'm quite sure you can find a lot of things that has been said to you, and bless them, they didn't do it out of malice. They did it to protect you. And that's another thing that we need to look at, again, in these interactions with our parents and our loved ones, and is that they were all here to do the best they could, or the best they thought they could. And remember, you're creating change for yourself, and you can see how hard sometimes it is. Imagine for somebody else. Like my parents came from, they migrated from a war-torn country back in the day. So what they're going to be seeing are very different things. Their perceptions are going to be way, way different to the perceptions I've had because of what they nurtured from when I was a baby. They didn't raise me in a war-torn country. They raised me in an opportunistic. So therefore, what I see and what they were seeing is very different. So we're not here to change other people's perspectives. We're not here to go around and saying, hey, you're doing this and you're doing that, because it's about you changing how you respond. If you want the change, you're the one who's going to make the change. You don't have to expect everybody around you to make the change for you to make the change, okay? Always remember that. In the cause and effect, we're looking for reasons. I can't change because he doesn't change. I can't change because that person doesn't change. And we're all looking at things to blame and reasons why we shouldn't, instead of looking at results. Results, it's about you. You need to make the change. You need to interact with more ecology. You need to interact with more understanding and compassion that the other person's life is different to yours. And what they're going through is going to be different to you. If they want to make the change, then guess what? You'll have the tools on helping them go through that. And I've gone through that myself so many times. Once I've gone through some massive change, how people come up to me and want that help. Then you can become their mentor. Okay, and that's a really, really important thing about this whole program, is that we're not just here to change ourselves, but we're here to make an impact on others, not force others. There's a big difference. Okay, so moving on. So what happens now? We adapt. Okay, our perception adapts. So what we perceive is happening now is creating now, and is the adaptations of our thoughts and our feelings that we've been focusing on frequently and consistently. Frequently, every day we just focus on the same thing over and over and over again. This gives the paradigm more and more neuropsychological nerves to keep building and keep building these roots, and these roots become deeper and deeper. Okay, so that's adaptation. Adaptation is it's the frequency and consistency of seeing things in the same way, and just keep looking for reasons why. Okay, so adaptations now become our paradigms. This is what we've adapted into. Okay, nobody created this. It's the way we viewed what happened, whether it be interacting with a person, a situation, or a thing. We see it in a certain way, and then what we start doing is justifying that what we're doing is right. And hey, how many times have you been in an argument trying to prove yourself right, that your justifications of your paradigm are right, even though you want to create the change? And then we feel conflicted inside us. It's like, what am I doing? Why am I defending this old paradigm that I don't want? It's not working for me anymore. It's not getting the results. It's not getting the life that I want. So let's change. Yeah. Now, to change, we need to now delve and discover what paradigm we are currently in. And paradigms that we're currently in, I'm going to be going through one little exercise that I want you guys to do right now. So if you've got a pen and paper, please, if you don't have it, pause this, come back, then play, so you can write this down. Okay. So to discover the paradigms we're in, we want to see how we approach situations. Okay. Now, I don't know about you guys, but there's so many ways that we can approach situations, but I want to go through three major ones. So I want you obviously we've got 100% of focus. In that 100% of focus, how much of that percentage do you focus on getting what you want? So in other words, what percentage of my time do I invest in thinking about what I want, and what actions and planning on making that happen? How much time do you invest? This is on a daily basis. Now, what percentage of time do you spend just thinking and just delving into just problems, dwelling on problems? Oh, this is happening. I've got these bills to pay, and this person doesn't listen to me. I don't know how to do this. And you just dwell on problems. You're not looking at solutions. You're just thinking about the problems. And then thirdly, what percentage of my time do I waste on other people's stuff? And that means like what other people think of your decisions or your ideas, the gossip that goes around. Do you gossip? Okay, are you part of that problem? Okay, because all those things just waste your time. They really, really do. So write this down, because this is going to give you an eye opener on where you devote your time. Okay. Now, when we're just focusing on problem thinking, okay, what's happening here is that problem thinking, we blame something else. We blame an institution. We blame our governments. We blame all sorts of things. Okay. And you say that it's out of your control. Now think about, if you're in a problem and you've decided that it's out of your control, are you ever going to be motivated to do anything about it? Or you're just going to be waiting for that thing that you blamed to change in such a way that's totally aligned with getting rid of your problem? Wow, that's a lot of waiting. Okay, so in this thinking, I call this not thinking, because you're not really thinking about anything. You're just blaming. It's just like, here's my thinking. I'm just going to push it away so I don't think. I'm just put it away from me. Instead of saying, me, I'm in charge. So no, something else is in charge. I don't want to know about it. Okay. And this is something that we call ignorance. Okay. And a lot of you've probably heard the limiting belief of ignorance is bliss. Okay. It's not very blissful when you're uncomfortable. Instead, when we start asking questions like, what is it that I need to learn from this situation? What is it that I need to learn from this problem? You start looking at ways, looking at solutions. So what you're doing is you're getting your left brain, your calculating brain, your analytic brain to solve problems. Okay, and this is solutions thinking. So in your solutions thinking, you're putting it on yourself to create a solution. So now you've switched. You've switched from the effect side of the equation to the cause side of the equation. And that's what we want to do. Okay. This is about placing, because it's your problem. It's nobody else. It's your problem. The only way your problem is going to be resolved is if you do something about it, not somebody else. Okay. As we asking more and delving more, because now you're looking for solutions to problems. But as Elon Musk said, we can't just live a life solving problems. There has to be something more to life than just solving problems. Totally agree to that. Totally agree with that. Okay. So you want to ask yourself, how can I have the life that I want? How can I have the things that I want? How can I have the relationships that I want? How can I be that person that can help others? Now, we start looking at being more creative in our life. And when you start looking at being more creative, you're actually now awakening your right brain. So you have both sides of your brain working together. Okay. And this is what we call inspirational thinking. So thinking about what you want and how to get it and how to achieve it. What we're doing here is we're delving into our unconscious inspirational mind. We're delving deep down inside and really bringing up the things that we truly, truly want. Okay. So now we have both sides of your brain working together. And now what happens when you're truly into this space, you're totally trusting your unconscious mind to bring you what you want without question. And this is the thing, when your self-worth is down, when your self-esteem is down, and you hear this in people, it's like, oh yeah, that's all airy-fairy stuff. That's just imagination. Now, imagination is the biggest tool we have. Nothing that you see around you has been created without imagination. I look at a tree and I see probably, oh yeah, that tree could be making fruit or nuts or whatever it is, and the leaves and shelter. And then somehow someone saw a dining table, saw a chair, and someone even saw rubber tires, okay, when they found rubber. So this is all part of using our imagination, our inspirations. Nothing gets invented without this. And we need yours. Okay, the world needs your inspiration, not more people creating problems. We need people having inspiration. We need people helping people. We need more and more of that. Okay, and this is why I'm doing these trainings, because I have a passion that I'm not just here to live a life for myself. I'm here to live a life for myself and others, for my family, for the world. Okay, and that's what we're here to do. So here's something to think about as you're thinking about your paradigms. Okay, is that if you're not thinking about what you want and acquiring it, what is it exactly that you're thinking about and doing? What is it exactly that you're thinking about? What is it exactly that you're doing? And then what purpose does it serve you? Really think about that. Really, really think about that. Instead of thinking about thinking, think about what it is you want and expect it to happen. And expect it to happen. By firstly feeling that you have it, and then behaving in a way that will attract it to you in your reality. And this is the things that we really want to pay attention to, is this. Look, the deepest desires, our deepest desires are aligned to our higher purpose. Our deepest desires are aligned to our higher purpose, which is aligned for the greater good for humanity. I'm not talking about sugar-coated desires, okay, because there's a difference between having a deep desire and just getting distracted from instant gratification. That's not fulfilling a true desire. That's just instant gratification. And this is the difference that makes a difference. So remember, the deepest desires are aligned with your higher purpose, and which is aligned the greater good of humanity. Wow. So now that you've started to discover a little bit where you are in your paradigms, and I'm hoping you're writing a few of these down, what things are coming up for you, where are you in your thinking? Are you in your problems, solutions, inspirations, a bit of everything, not enough inspiration? Where do you need to make those changes? Okay, because once you know where you are, then you know where you want to go. So I want to ask you this question. What is it that you truly want? Not what is it that your family wants, not what is it that your partner wants, not what is it your kids want for you. What is it that you truly want? The deepest desire of the lifestyle that you want to have. What is it? What is it that you truly want? And write it down. Does it excite you? Does it scare you? Because all these things are going to be happening at the same time. Of course, when we make change, it can scare us. So the question now is, how do we make this change? Now, if you wanted more time, just pause this to write down what you truly want. Please pause the video and keep going with what you truly want. And then push play again. So what creates your reality, and this is very similar to what I showed you before, what shapes our reality is, number one, our thoughts, okay? Now, what we want to do here is we want to utilize what has created our paradigm so we can create a new one. So the number one thing is you need to have a specific outcome. A specific outcome. And that outcome, you need to feel that outcome as if you have it. What this means is that you can't make wealth if you don't have wealth thinking. Wealth thinking doesn't come once the money's in the bank. It's the other way around. Health and fitness. Your health doesn't come first. You have to adopt the thinking of a healthy lifestyle. The difference that makes the difference is that we need to feel it now. Okay, I am embodying this person that's healthy and wealthy and prosperous. I'm going to be embodying that, or whatever it is that your outcome is. You have to embody that with a state. Now, a lot of people would say, fake it until you make it. I don't agree with that, because you're not really faking it. This is real. This is how we create things. We don't create things by faking it, because when you fake it till you make it, you don't believe. You're not believing that you actually are. You have to believe that, yes, I have the resources, and that whatever resources I need, I can find. I'm resourceful enough to find the resources. I can learn new things. I have behavioral flexibility, because now what we're doing is we need to change our perception. And our perception, you need to have awareness of looking for opportunities so we can take action. So here I am. I've made a decision. I've embodied this decision. Now I've got sensory awareness, so I can take action. And when I've taken this action, my behavior can be flexible so I can make those changes. I can operate from a physiology and psychology of excellence. I'm going to be standing tall. I'm going to be looking after my posture. I'm not going to be moping around feeling sorry for myself. This is a physiology of excellence, is that I'm going to be looking after my posture. And yes, we can have all sorts of sore backs as we're moping around and feeling sorry for ourselves. Okay. Now start looking after your spine. Start looking after your physical health, so you can actually stand tall. This is a power posture position. This is not a powerful posture position. You don't see presenters walking around like this on stage. You see presenters like this. You don't see mentors moping around. You see mentors sitting up, because we're neurologically wired that this is the confidence stand and this is the protection stands, and we're feeling down stands. Okay, so think about your posture. Okay, physiology, psychology of excellence. The psychology of excellence is you are, I am. So you're thinking about the state. I am in this state. You're thinking about the outcome. This is the person you are. Your outcome and your state. This is the new person you are. And this is the new seed that you're planting for your new neuropsychological root system. And whenever something comes up in the old, because again, in the old perceptions, we solidify that paradigm with beliefs. See, that person can do it and I can't. Look, that person's lucky and I'm not. Yeah, these people saying that this is not who I am. See, my family is not supportive. Okay, so those things are limiting beliefs. And there can also be unresolved emotions that come up from the old paradigm. So as these things come up, and I call them the red dots, okay, as these red dots come up, once we start understanding that it's the context of that problem is just purely an unresolved emotion or a negative emotion, okay? It's negative because it's unresolved and it causes negative effects, okay? Limiting decisions come up and conflicts. Part of you wants this and part of you wants that, and you end up paralyzed because you're not doing anything, okay? So once we start understanding that the context of all problems lie in these three unresolved situations, then what we can do is we can start transforming our negative emotions, limiting decisions, and conflicts into personal power. And this happens all the way along. This is not just a one, like you can break through here, but it doesn't mean that you've broken through everything. Okay, we've got so many layers of protection to protect the old paradigm that these things can come up, and it can seem hard. And when we say, oh, this is just too hard, that in itself is a limiting belief, which you can transform. Okay, you want to become a great talent, you've got to put in the hard work. And it's not because it's too hard, it's not because it's unfair, it's because that's what you have to do. Okay, putting in the work is usually the difference that makes the difference. Most people don't want to put in the work. Everybody wants the results, but a lot of people, most people, do not want to put the effort to get them. And this is the difference that makes a difference. We need to look at the cause of the behavior. Okay, so the more we can do this, the more, because this last one usually comes right at the end. You're just about achieved it, and you got this, and then you get hit hard again. Okay, never give up. That's another thing that could be coming in here, is the new resource of never giving up, no matter what. It's your life, it's your dream. You need to do it. Okay. Now, the biggest thing here is that time has no relevance here. Your goals, your desires, you making the effort to achieve your results, which should transcend time. Okay? Time shouldn't be more important than you achieving what you want. You can say, oh yeah, it's over, I can't do it. Time's up. Time's up when it's up. When you're no longer here, time's up. Okay? You're here to do stuff. If you're still here, you're here to still do stuff. You're not just here to mope around, feeling sorry for yourself because life is unfair. Okay? And that's another thing. That's a limiting belief. So is it just unfair for you? It's unfair for everybody. Okay? Because not everybody's going to be thinking the same thing. People are not going to be standing in the corner waiting for you to give you a handout so you can do the things that you want. It doesn't work that way. You need to add value to other people's lives. And your deepest desires, aligned with your higher purpose, when you actually do this, is aligned with what people want. And that's part of the magic of breaking through. Okay. So to break through, you need to have the full investigation of your mind. So we've got to start looking at where are my negative emotions? Where are my limiting decisions? Now, your journey does not just end here, yeah? This is just the beginning of your journey. Now, I'd love for you to come in and experience either a personal breakthrough or get to the next stage of really uncovering these 8 keys a little bit more in more detail. And what we do there in that training is that you have 8 videos, and also you get to experience me live for any personalized questions that you have, so we can go through them. Okay, and that's a really important thing. So you do a full investigation of your mind. So what we're here to find the negative emotions, limiting beliefs, and the parts that are getting in the way that we created during that gap that we were talking about before. Then we want to transform the neurological root system. And to transform this, again, what we want to transform is negative emotions, limiting beliefs, and internal conflicts, and transform them back into your personal power. So you can take that back, because what you've done is you've given it away to a person, a situation, or a thing, as we talked about before. Now, to take back your personal power, okay, we need to resolve these negative emotions, limiting beliefs, and parts by utilizing something I call the personal power placement technique. It's something that I started utilizing, or I guess I found. I love to say I invented it, but no one really invents things. We can find stuff. Okay, we can find things that work. Okay, so that's why I'll call it. I'm the founder of this technique, but there's other techniques that are similar that have worked, and there's so many great things out there, so many tools that we can use. Okay, but I found when I started doing it in this way, things just transformed unbelievably quickly. Okay, so utilizing the personal power placement technique is really understanding this. That our unconscious mind puts things, organizes our memories in a timeline, we like to call it. Okay, so it places memories, organizes memories from day 0 to now. It's not something that we do consciously. It's like, okay, I'm going to put this memory here, I'm going to put this memory here, and I'm going to put that memory there. No, it just happens automatically. Your unconscious mind does that automatically, and the memories are all there. Now, what you're experiencing now is usually a result of what's happened in the past, a significant emotional event. Okay, but a lot of the times where our conscious mind goes, where that significant emotional event is, may not be that. And this is something that Fritz Perls has found, okay, in his Gestalt theory, that what we have is a chain of events that led to that event, okay, which we call the Gestalt, okay? And that chain of event happened all the way from the decisions that we made in the past. So here's the first event. We had an interaction with the person, the situation, or thing. What we've done here is we've given away our personal power, which now has left us with a void. And that void, your brain is searching for everywhere because it's felt empty. So what your brain's looking for all the time is the solution for this void. And a lot of the times what we're looking for is instant gratification. This is why we get addicted to foods, addicted to drugs, addicted to alcohol, addicted to sex, addicted to all sorts of things, because we're looking outside of ourselves for the solution. So what we want to do is go back there and come back to now. But once we've done that, once we've taken back our personal power, what we want to do is now have a compelling future. We want to start writing down what is it that we want to create for ourselves with these newfound personal power, newfound resources, newfound opportunities. Now you start doing some goals. And then also what we want to start doing is now having a personal philosophy. We want to really start getting in and becoming strong in our new paradigm. Okay, reading books, being around people so we can actually get a good personal philosophy going that is unquivering. Okay. Then from this, we don't want to just stop. This is where a lot of people do coaching, because what we want to do is want to consistently assert our new paradigm. Instead of this old paradigm coming in and getting the better of us, we want to keep getting coached towards the new paradigm. And this is asserting your new paradigm. So therefore, I invite you guys to come experience some other products that I have. I do the 8 keys for only $27, by the way. You can actually purchase the next program, which is the 8 keys training, which you have me live as well. Okay, I'd love for you to do this. And if someone's introduced you to this program and you want to know how to get to that next stage, please get in contact with them, because they've gone through the program and they want to mentor you through it. Okay, how great is that? You get a mentor and myself helping you going through these situations. And of course, we also have the personal breakthrough. Okay, regardless of what you're choosing, I love to see you come to the next level so you can really master the 8 keys for yourself, transform your life, and really start living the life that you truly deserve. Thank you for watching, guys. Love to see you on the other side. Who knows, maybe one day we can have a cup of coffee together. Okay, bye for now.